Hello everybody, Ben Rogers here, the Raptors Digest, reacting to two star NBA centers now on the trade block, Riker. And this report, it's coming from Shams. We broke it down a little bit on the Pacers side of things, so Courtside Digest, so definitely check that out. But the Indiana Pacers are moving towards a rebuild and are receptive to trade talk centered around Caris LeVert and either Domantas Sabonis or Miles Turner, Riker. This is pretty interesting because I feel like every second video we have people talking about how we should trade for Miles Turner, and now Domantas Sabonis could potentially be on the block as well. Some more Lithuania Lightning coming to Toronto. Should the Raptors look to target one of these guys? What would we have to give up? What are your initial thoughts on this potential scenario playing out for the Toronto Raptors?
Shock, surprise, intrigue, Ben. Again, I don't understand it. We broke it down on the Courtside video, but this is a top 15 team offensive rating, top 15 team defensive rating, and yet they're bottom of the East, 13th ranked, and they're just not putting those W's in the win column. And to blow up your team in this fashion, trade away your best player, your best defender, and a pretty good piece in LeVert surprises me, but I'm extremely interested to put a couple offers on the table for both of these guys, because Sabonis, you're sacrificing a little bit on the defensive end, an improved defender. I think he has a 102 defensive rating, which is better than last season. He's continually getting better, but properly a scorer, a shooter, a rebounder, a guy that's pretty well proven himself for the last 3 years in the NBA. And then Turner, that true defender, pretty good three-point shooting stats, actually, and super underutilized at that 5 spot. So we would bring him in, ask him to do even more scoring, averaging 3 blocks per game. Holy Ben, I hope we can get something in front of Indiana Pacers that at least brings them to the table to talk.
Well, Riker, you said a lot of things about Sabonis there, but also an all-star. Also, the Raptors Digest Lithuania fan club could return. Right, that'd be a fun look to talk about. But let's dive into Sabonis first, because obviously, even if he's less realistic, he'd be the super exciting guy to sort of bring into the squad. We got the Courtside Digest background for these, and I accidentally throw up Turner's stats, so I'm going to throw in Sabonis here. But 18 points per game, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, steal. His three-point shooting has gone down this year, has a lot of extra turnovers, but he's a big that not only can finish around the rim, right, he can shoot, especially in the mid-range, but he's also a player, Riker, that has that passing ability, has that, got the genes from his dad to throw those Marc Gasol-esque mid-post passes. He'd be a vet that you can sort of run your offense through the same way we did our championship years with our centers, right? He'd be offensively exactly what the Toronto Raptors could use. He can also space the floor, right? He takes the pressure off of now Precious Achiuwa for, currently who's our starter. Ken Birch can be a true backup, which we say he's the best backup big man in the NBA, but sometimes he's playing starter, right? He'd be the ideal big man. Defensively, he's still solid, right? He's not horrific, right? He's not horribly immobile, but offensively, he could really take our team to the next level.
My concern with him would be him plus Siakam. How would that work? Is it really an efficient front court?
Is it better than Gasol Siakam? Because that won us a championship.
It's worse than Gasol Siakam.
Is it?
Yeah, because now you have two guys who are undersized bigs, not a ton of rim protection at all.
How tall
not
is Sabonis?
Not incredible defense, because I'm not considering Pascal Siakam in the upper echelon of defenders. You don't have to hide him, but he's not top quality. He's not average. He's not crazy in steals. He can get blown by pretty easily. He's not an intimidating rim defender, protector, especially
you're
at his height.
slandering Siakam's defense. I apologize.
I'm not apologizing.
No,
I'm saying I'm not intrigued by the front court of Siakam and Sabonis from a defensive perspective. Now, from an offensive, I don't know, because now you're kind of clogging up with Scottie, Siakam, and Sabonis. But if you can make that bit work, it would improve our offensive scoring ability and talent, of course. But I'd be a little bit worried about the defensive side.
Well, Riker, I don't know if you've been peeping, but Scottie Barnes is now Steph Curry. Siakam's shooting pretty solid percentages from the 3-point line. And while Sabonis' percentages has been down, he's not a guy that you can just leave on a complete island out there. He can knock them down, but he's got those middies. Offensively, I have no worries about the floor spacing with the Sabonis. He's a true center, and his passing ability, regardless, the same way Draymond Green can't shoot occasionally, right? Sabonis is a guy that can create for people even if he's being sagged off by players. And the defensive end...
Listen, it's not that he can't. It's not that we can't space the floor. It's where do you want our players to play? Do you want Siakam to live outside the 3? Do you want Scotty to live outside the 3? Who's going to be playing in the lane most of the time? We're going to have Sabonis be that guy in the lane.
Let Sabonis play the high post like Marc Gasol did. That would be
okay.
Perfect.
I see what you're saying. I see where you're coming from, the Gasol comparison, but it's worse on defense. I need you to defend the defense.
Let me rant. I did everything I could not to cut you off. I even apologized. I quieted myself. But you said Pascal Siakam is not a average defense. You said he's below par. What was your direct quote on the Siakam defense thing before I put words?
He's not an upper echelon defender. That was my quote.
Siakam is an upper echelon defender. He's ridiculously athletic. He's long. He's mobile. He can switch on guards. Right? Siakam, where's this come from?
But then he doesn't defend.
Where's this
He has the intangibles to be a good defender, bro, but he's not showing up as one of the best defenders. We hide him behind Scotty, behind OG. He doesn't defend the post very well, and he's not the most terrific rebounder for his height.
Get out of here with that blasphemy. Siakam is an energy defender. He's mobile. He has those long arms, and he does do solid. We switch defenses consistently. Siakam usually ends up on some of the top guys at the end of games. Surprisingly, obviously, he's not OG level, and Scotty Barnes is quickly establishing himself as one of the top young defenders in the NBA. So that's an unfair comparison, but Siakam is right up there with those guys. I don't know. That's something that I think is wild. I think the defense will be fine. Let me know in the chat. And you said, or in the comment section below, would you guys stand on this debate? Because we do have Turner who would elevate the defense. And I want a quick fact check because we've been messing up heights on this podcast the last few videos. How tall is Sabonis? Because if he's not a 7-footer, I don't think anyone in the NBA is a 7-footer.
Bro, I think Sabonis is 5'10". Let's see.
5'10".
Sabonis height.
He's 5'10".
I'm thinking 5'10".
5'10".
No. He's 2.11 meters. So I'll get the quick conversion. You continue on to the next one.
Yeah, well, I hope he's not 5'10", because then he's your height, Riker, but...
5'10". Yeah, 6'10". I see what you're saying.
No, but I don't know. Yeah, definitely check that, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm interested I think that would be a perfect pairing. Now, the
6'11".
Okay, so then you can really cheat yourself as a 7-footer, but... I don't know. Before we transition to Miles Turner, which is the more realistic option, Riker, what would we have to give up for Sabonis? Probably, you look at Nikola Vucevic, what he received, a young player, right, a young star, a big contract, and Otto Porter, who wasn't really anything, just a salary filler, and 2 pretty solid first-round picks. What would the Raptors have to give up for Sabonis? Would Gary Trent have to be in a deal and maybe a pick or two? What would sort of happen in a trade with the Pacers for Sabonis in particular?
Gary Trent, Precious Chua, pick
both those guys. I'm not giving up both those guys. I think
you asked me what I think would have to happen for Indiana to accept, not what I'd be willing to offer.
Yeah, I'm reacting. Do you think they'd accept one of those players and a couple of picks and then obviously maybe a Dragic salary filler? No? That's tough.
No, I don't. If you're trying to explode your team and trade your best player on your entire team, you'd want more than that. It'd be the same thing. Would you be willing to trade Pascal Siakam for Gary Trent Jr. in a first?
For Sabonis, you mean?
No, if Pascal...
I see what you're saying.
The Raptors were trying to blow up, right? Would you trade Pascal Siakam, our best player, for Gary Trent Jr. in a first?
That's tough.
No, you wouldn't.
No, I know. But 2 firsts, who really knows? I'm just trying to put it in the Nikola Vucevic sort of hypothetical area. Yeah, we'd have to be willing to give up a couple of our young guys, which I don't know I'd be willing to part with. However,
we caught lightning in a bottle once with trading for Kawhi Leonard. Why did it even take me a second to think of his name? But then we
Trading for
missed out on the
Danny
opportunity.
Green.
Yeah, we missed the opportunity to trade for Jared Allen, right? That Dante Exum pick, the Vucevic, which was nickels and dimes as well. I don't see us trading nothing for Sabonis. So let's just go right to Miles Turner, because I'm expecting you'd have to trade a bunch that we wouldn't necessarily be interested in doing. And Miles Turner, to me, he has less holes in his game from the defensive offensive standpoint, because you're not bringing him in as the primary, a little bit better on that anchoring the defensive side of things. And again, he's underutilized. He's only shooting 52% from the field, 40% from three, and he's only taking less than 9 shots a game. We could immediately bring him in, get those numbers up, get that a couple of extra points on the board for him. Ben, what are your thoughts on Miles Turner?
Yeah, well, 13 points, 8 rebounds as well to go along with those stats that you brought up. And the real intriguing thing about Miles Turner is, as always, is the shot blocks. Right, 3 blocks per game, pretty ridiculous, right? He's a guy that would immediately come in and be the backbone of this Toronto Raptors defense. And you could probably get him for cheaper, right? There's been trades. He's been dangled out in trades for a long while, so we don't necessarily have to give up a Gary Trent Jr. or Precious. Hopefully, in a deal, you might have to give... No, I'm not giving up. I don't know if I'd necessarily give up Precious, but you add a first or something in there, you might be able to...
You wouldn't give up Precious for Miles Turner.
No, Precious is nice,
You're
bro.
tripping. You are absolutely on something right now, Ben.
Miles Turner is... And this is what I want to sort of go along with. He's a starting caliber center for sure. Maybe he's playing out of position, which is weird for the Indiana Pacers. But the idea of Miles Turner is always way better than the actual player. Like, you watch him play, his impact isn't at that level. That's why he's always in trade discussions. Precious Achiuwa is just a star.
Precious Achiuwa is all right, and he will never get even close to 2 blocks a game, let alone 3 blocks per game. That's all we need. We just needed a protector. We need somebody with touch around the rim and can actually defend. Precious Achiuwa sometimes looks lost out there under the paint, and he's undersized. What are you saying?
Precious Achiuwa is dripping. He is oozing in potential right there, Riker. He is oozing.
Potential to do what?
Potential to become a true starting big man in this NBA.
No, he's never going to be a paint protector. Right? He's never going to even have that Marc Gasol level of defensive IQ. At best, his potential is to be a better scorer on the offensive end. But with Pascal back, we're seeing that he's getting even less touches now.
Right. I don't know what you're saying with the Toronto Raptors defense right now. You're slandering all our top guys.
Because the net defense has been bad.
Because we have a bunch of young guys figuring out weird defensive schemes. And now we're on a little run. We beat the Wizards. We beat the Bucks, Riker. Our defense is looking fire.
Without Giannis. Stop with that
Champions. We beat the NBA champions, Riker. And you can't take that away from the Toronto Raptors. But I digress on my Miles Turner point. I think he'd be a nice fit. Positionally, he's exactly what the Toronto Raptors need. But the idea of Miles Turner has always been better than the actual player. So would I want to give up a bunch for Miles Turner? I don't really know. Right, but
well, according to you, you wouldn't give up anything. You wouldn't give up Precious.
I wouldn't give up Precious. I might send maybe a Malachi, a Boucher, and a pick. I think, I don't know. The Celtics were literally going to give him for essentially that giant Gordon Hayward contract, along with a TJ Warren that was coming off the bubble. So his value is not that high, Riker. Maybe there'll be a little bidding war for him across the league. But whether he comes to the Raptors or not, I guarantee everyone will be like, oh, Miles Turner got traded for nothing. But it's because he's not that crazy. He'd be a nice fit for the Toronto Raptors. And, would he necessarily close games? I'm not sure. But he'd be a guy that would probably start them for this squad. But I don't know. He gets a bit overrated just because the idea of him is so good.
This is insane to me. This is absolutely insanity.
We are not in sync on this
right
podcast.
Oh, I don't even know what world you're coming from, let alone what continent or country or province or city or town, Ben. I don't know what basketball court you've been playing on. This is insane to me.
The court of truth, Riker. The court of truth. The court of facts. Right. That's what I've been speaking on.
3 blocks per game, 8 attempts, 50+% from the field. He has touch. He can shoot the 3 at a high clip. He's the NBA block leader or top 3 in blocks over the last 3 seasons. And he's yet to reach his potentials because he's playing on this dud Indiana team that always underachieves versus expectations. You put him into a Raptors system, that's a good recipe right there. But I agree, because my point about Sabonis clogging the lane would be no different than Miles Turner clogging the lane, but it's a big improvement. We bring in that 7-footer, yeah, and he can shoot pretty well. So anyways, you're on the Sabonis side of this. I'm on the Miles Turner side of this. I'm really excited that these two guys are officially or unofficially being put on the block, because now, again, like we said at the beginning of the podcast, hopefully we will come to the table with Indiana and make some offers and make some magic happen. Whichever way it plays out, it'll be exciting.
Even just the rumors. Get us excited, at least, Masai, right? Just let something happen, even though the Raptors are starting to play well again. So it's hopefully they'll keep riding this wave straight through the Oklahoma City Thunder. That'll probably be tonight as of recording, or not as of recording, as of this video being posted. So let us know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you agree with my takes, Riker's takes, some of our takes, none of our takes in the comment section below? Because the trade videos always get the most extreme reaction. So we're excited to see where people are following on this, on these topics. But you guys are the best to make this far. Check out the Instagram, the TikTok, the Twitter, all that cool stuff. Check out the merchandise. Christmas season, holiday season's coming around. So get your loved ones emojis, hoodies. They'll love it. Check out the channel membership. Lots of cool stuff there. Riker, do you have any last words on all these trades?
Me, Ben. Cheers.